Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fandom United. My name is Gio. Happy Monday. I hope all of you had a great Monday. I'm sure you guys are happy that it's over. But this is Daily News Recap for July 26th. Got some exciting stuff to talk about today, both in the world of DC and Marvel. But we're going to start off with something that I've been seeing a lot of today on my Twitter feed. So James Gunn's Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad, comes out in just about 2 weeks. For some of you, a week from now, as of this recording. You guys are lucky. But it's a movie that's dividing the DC fans. Okay, on one half, you have fans who are still holding Warner Brothers accountable for how they treated their filmmakers and the actors back in 2016-17 during that dark time over at Warner Brothers. Of course, last year too with Ray Fisher and how they tried to interfere with his investigation, according to Ray Fisher. And then you have on the other half fans who don't forget what Warner Brothers has done, but are embracing the future and supporting the filmmakers who have been talking about Warner Brothers, this new regime, and them learning from their lessons. And what I want to do here is play a video for you guys. This is James Gunn once again, so showing his support for David Ayer, who got his version of Suicide Squad back in 2016 absolutely destroyed by Warner Brothers 5 years ago. And he once again shows his support and talks very highly of Warner Brothers. Let's listen in and hear the director.
You've given to David Ayer over these years has been really amazing, because I think David Ayer is a phenomenal filmmaker, and I hope one day that we can see his cut. And you tweeted something the other day I thought was really interesting. You said that kind of what he went through in that process kind of helped pave the way for you to be able to make this movie. And I'm wondering if you could elaborate on that. And have you seen his cut? And I mean, in terms of will you keep championing it to come out at some point?
I haven't seen David's cut. We've talked a lot about it. We've talked. He's told me exactly what happened with everything, and a lot of the people at the studio are different people than who were there when his movie was happening. But I do think that Warner Brothers they have traditionally been the studio that supports the director. That's
100%
who they have always been. And so I think that has been sort of a glitch with some of that stuff that was happening in the overall history of Warner Brothers. And so, of course, they're sensitive to criticism, just like, anybody would be. It's a studio, but it's also made up of human beings who, in my experience, have been some of the best people I've worked with in this industry. If not the very best, from the studio side. These are great people. So I think that, of course, they're going to be sensitive to that. And I think it makes them even more likely to be incredibly supportive of me because of what happened. So I don't dismiss, David's experience at all with that. And I'm grateful for everything he's done for me. He's been just a completely stand-up great guy from the beginning, from the moment it was announced I was doing this movie. And I really love him. I think he's a fantastic person.
Well, James, thank you very much.
James Gunn and David Ayer, they both have shown each other love and support on Twitter. That much is undeniable. Okay, they support each other. James Gunn would love to see David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Okay, he said he hasn't seen it yet, but he also says David Ayer told me everything. I support him. I hope he gets to see his cut. He didn't say that exactly, but that's pretty much how he feels, how James Gunn feels. There are people online who, and it's their, they can they can do whatever they want. Okay, but they boycott this movie, The Suicide Squad. Okay, for their own reasons. Maybe it's to prove a point to Warner Brothers, or until David Ayer has gotten justice, they won't support anything regarding DC. That's fine. You do what you want. I'm not going to tell those of you who feel that way what to do with your time and what to do with your money. Whatever brings you happiness. But what I don't like is seeing people attack others who maybe don't feel the same way. They agree that what happened back in 2016 and 2017 with Warner Brothers was completely messed up. It was messed up, but they're also able to compartmentalize. Okay, James Gunn had nothing to do with what happened with David Ayer's Suicide Squad. He had nothing to do with that. And people realize that and they understand that. They just want to be excited for DC. They want great movies. And there's a lot of hype for the Suicide Squad. The fact that it'll be unlike anything we've seen from what DC has given us so far. They have a right to be excited. They have a right to have interest in whatever they want. Why is there a need for people to A, boycott this movie, and then B, go on Twitter and make fun of other people who don't feel the same way? Really? It brings me back to what the old saying is, misery loves company. You'll never hear me tell you what you should and should not watch. I might recommend it, I might give my own opinion, but I will never give anyone crap for what they find interesting, what they choose, how they choose to spend their time and money. There is too much content in today's world being produced on a weekly basis for us to all love and enjoy the same shit. So stop it if you're one of those people out there. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. Okay, it's funny. People fucking hate this movie so much. They haven't even seen it. They've seen trailers, but they fucking hate this movie. And what's funny is they cannot stop talking about it. That's the ironic thing. My Twitter timeline was filled with people giving other people shit for being interested, being excited about this movie. And it's like, for somebody who hates this movie, who is not interested at all, you're really talking a lot about this movie. What can you do? It comes with the territory, right? With being a fan, with, showing interest and following all these topics on social media and whatnot. You're always going to have those people. And look, okay, nobody's saying you can't continue to fight and be radical about shit. But this is you're just exhausting to follow sometimes. And to each their own. Whatever makes you happy, go ahead. But I've spent way too much time on this first topic. We're going to get through to the other stuff. Let's go from one divisive DC film to another. We're going to talk about The Flash. We have our first look at Ben Affleck's Batman. Now, it's not actually Ben Affleck. Okay, he's on a boat with J-Lo somewhere. At least I don't follow it. I see photos on Twitter. But we have our first look, and this will be spoilerish, okay? A reveal, something we weren't meant to see right now. So I'm going to show it. And if you don't want to see, there are timestamps in the link below. But here we go. Here is our first look at Ben Affleck's Batman riding a bat cycle. How awesome is that? Now, yes, it doesn't look complete. Okay, this is pre-visuals. And again, this isn't something that we weren't meant to see. But vultures who are all over flying around, hovering around this set have caught photos of this, and I'm bringing it to you guys. Here's another angle of the bat cycle right here. The person who did this at Krypton Caged did a little color grading on it to make it more Nolan Snydery. From this angle, it looks pretty good. Okay, granted, it's unfinished, but it's real, guys. Ben Affleck's Batman will be in the Flash. It's not just a major trade. We have a set photo, and even though it's not Ben Affleck, which makes sense, okay, like Richard, what's his name? What's his last name? Richard Sertone, who is Ben Affleck's stunt double in BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. He was doing a majority of those action sequences. It's a different guy for this one, but nevertheless, that's it. That's the confirmation right there. Ben Affleck's Batman. Now the question is, what happens to Ben Affleck's Batman? That's what's dividing a lot of the fans, among other things. Okay, there's Ray Fisher's Cyborg. Some people still have a problem with Ezra Miller and what he did in that viral video when he put his hands on a woman and all that. You should never put your hands on a woman. But what's going to happen with this movie as far as where it goes forward? You know, what it does to the previous movies. There's a fear that Warner Brothers will completely wash away everything before, and the Flash will be a new beginning for DC. The writings are already on the wall for that. While I don't entirely believe that, I think Warner Brothers, for better or worse, they're trying their best to separate themselves from the previous regime. I've talked about it before. And for them, that may be separating themselves from Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and I don't know why they would, but Zack Snyder's Justice League. So just more speculation. I just wanted to show you this to, show you guys that Ben Affleck's Batman will be in the Flash. He will have a role, a very emotional part of the story. I also want to show you guys this video right here of the Bat Cycle in action. It's not much, but here it is. Looks like it'll be a chase sequence, which obviously, duh. I mean, if Batfleck is going to ride the Bat Cycle, you would think there would be a chase sequence. What else to mention? People are saying it is Batman White Knight inspired, which I've seen the artwork, and I could definitely see what they're talking about. Some people are complaining that the Bat Cycle is too big. I don't know what the hell you mean by that, but if you've been paying attention, Ben Affleck's Batman has been carrying some heavy firepower. So it looks like this cycle could do some damage. And that is in line with what we've seen so far from Ben Affleck's Batman. So let me know what you guys think about that. And let's move forward. Let's go to Marvel now. We have a rumor regarding one of the Marvel Netflix's biggest fan favorite characters, and that is Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. There is a rumor making its way online that Vincent D'Onofrio's will make his MCU debut in the upcoming Hawkeye series. This is what the scoop has to say. This comes from Reddit, and I'm only bringing this up because I've heard this multiple times. The rumor is as follows. We have seen many theories recently about Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk or Charlie Cox's Daredevil appearing in Hawkeye. This is partially due to the fact that the character of Echo, who will be making a debut in the series, is heavily associated with both of these characters. Furthermore, a spinoff with the character has reportedly already been greenlit, suggesting that she'll have a major role to play in the MCU going forward. We are excited to reveal that according to our verified sources, Vincent's Kingpin is going to make his MCU re-debut in Hawkeye this year. The source indicated that Daredevil was also supposed to make his MCU re-debut in Hawkeye alongside his role in Spider-Man No Way Home, but scheduling for Hawkeye didn't work out. Kingpin will instead be filling that void. The sources that we've been in communication with has also implied that Hawkeye will be airing around the same time that Spider-Man No Way Home will be in theaters, because the two MCU projects share some connections. This lines up with previous verified information that we received that suggests an October release for Ms. Marvel and a November release for Hawkeye. With Fisk appearing in Hawkeye this year, we assume that he will reprise the role in Echo along with Daredevil. Quite a bit to take in. First off, we haven't heard. First off, no, take this with a grain of salt, okay? Take it with a grain of salt. Don't get too ahead, but this makes sense, okay? If Marvel is going to bring any characters in from Netflix, they would be a fool, especially with the multiverse happening and all these variants and whatnot. Not saying Kingpin and Daredevil are variants, but this is your chance, Marvel, to bring in the two biggest fan favorites from the Netflix series in Charlie Cox's Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. Perfect casting. We can back that up with 3 seasons of Daredevil. They were just phenomenal in that series. They were excellent. And it makes sense that Marvel would prioritize bringing those two into the MCU. And Hawkeye, while at first you might be scratching your head like, yeah, the Echo character, the association, but you could also look at this from another point of view. Hawkeye, on the surface, as a series, may not seem that interesting, right? I mean, Hawkeye got the short end of the stick in Avengers. He was given a lot more in Age of Ultron, partially because he complained. And the best parts about Hawkeye have been when he is in a supporting role. So for him to have his own series, I love Jeremy Renner. Okay, Oscar-nominated actor. But it feels like Marvel is stuffing in characters to get us more excited than we may be for Hawkeye, right? We're getting Kate Bishop. We're getting Yelena, Florence Pugh from Black Widow. Now the possibility that we're getting Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. It sounds like they're just packaging these characters together. Although it may narratively make sense, they're just packaging it together to get us more excited about Hawkeye. Which I don't know that they need to do that, okay? Like WandaVision was actually pretty damn good. I love the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki surprised the hell out of me. As somebody who was very vocal about giving a character who we've seen die multiple times his own series, that turned out better than I thought. So you guys let me know your thoughts on Wilson Fisk making his re-debut in the MCU in the Hawkeye series. I'm curious what you guys think. And finally, we're going to get to not really a news or rumor, but just something I want to show you guys that I found pretty cool and supports a good theory out there that involves Marvel and its upcoming MCU variants. This is a fan edit poster on Reddit that shows actors who were almost cast in major Marvel roles as MCU variants. You got Tom Cruise as Iron Man. You got John Krasinski as Captain America. You got Emily Blunt as Black Widow. You got Joaquin Phoenix as, it looks like, Bruce Banner. And then you got Jason Eccles, Josh Hartnett, and George Clooney. George Clooney has Nick Fury. But anyways, the point of this, why I'm even showing this, is because Marvel has a unique opportunity to call some of those actors. Kevin Feige put on his salesman hat and get them to make glorified cameos, so especially for someone like Tom Cruise, who's pushing 60 years old. Hey, Tom, how would you like to put on the Iron Man armor for a couple days and be a part of something fun in the MCU? I think Tom Cruise would be down for that. Remember, he really wanted the role of Iron Man back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know about Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. I mean, maybe just so Emily Blunt can test the waters and see how it's like being in a Marvel project, since she's so opinionated about superhero movies. But hey, this could be a fun opportunity. And unlike something we've ever seen in the comic book genre, I could see Marvel doing something like that. But you guys let me know what you think. And that's going to do it for Daily News Recap, July 26th. It's my birthday, so give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, do so. I appreciate you guys. I am honored to spend part of my day with you 5 days a week, if we're fortunate enough to have news topics that I'm interested in talking about. But yeah, 31 years old. It's a formality at this point. I'm going to spend tonight watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, one of my favorite all-time movies. I love that movie. But those of you who are subscribers, thank you guys so much. I enjoy doing this. Hopefully I am 100%, because I'm still congested and I have a dry cough. I've been sick for a couple of days. But yeah, the plan will be to watch a movie tonight and get some rest. So that's going to do it. Until tomorrow, you guys take care.